Good afternoon. I'm James Floyd, Principal Chief of the Muskogee Creek Nation. I'd like to spend a couple minutes this afternoon with you and report on some of the accomplishments of the executive branch. This information is contained in the fourth quarterly report that we submit to the National Council, and which I will be covering more in depth with them on Saturday, but I wanted to share it with you at this time. I'd like to begin first with the Department of Treasury. The total number of employees for the fourth quarter was 2,689, an increase of 85 employees from the third quarter and 832 compared to the end of the fiscal year 2016. So that increase of 832 is significant, in that it shows that our employee base has grown. The total payroll cost for the fourth quarter was $18,393,000, which is a decrease, but that does include summer youth, and so the decrease is because of them now leaving employment, going back to school. The Muskogee Creek Nation appropriated supplemental funds totaling $1,691,916,000 during the fourth quarter. And the total appropriated supplemental funds for the fiscal year was $11,907,390. At the end of the fourth quarter, the permanent fund had $365,076,670. This is compared to $313,654,824, or a growth of $51,421,000 since this time last year. In the Department of the Administration, I have the following highlights I'd like to speak about. In information technology, we're glad that we are continuing with our voice over internet protocol phone implementation, both for the healthcare system and for all departments of the nation. The healthcare system completed all health phone replacements this year, and the tribal voice over internet protocol implementation will begin on October the 11th of this year and will be completed by the end of this first quarter of fiscal year 18. In the General Services Administration program, the WEDGE Advanced Software product, which tracks our inventory, which began this year, is about 50% complete, and the value of the items inventoried so far are total $13,136,726. They will continue implementation of the inventory, and the remaining 50% should be completed by the end of the calendar year. In the Department of Health, the Department of Health focused on what's called kept appointments, which are people who keep the appointments they have scheduled. And this quarter, as a result, visits increased and cancellations decreased. In access to care, in the fourth quarter, the Department of Health reported 27,504 kept outpatient visits in our clinics. This is up 988 visits from the 26,516 visits in the third quarter. There was continued progress with the scheduling system, resulting in a reduction in cancellations, and so we're proud that the cancellations are decreasing and the kept appointments are increasing. The Creek Nation Community Hospital construction report shows that the construction has been deemed substantially complete, and we've been given control of the building. We will now set an opening date in the next few months for the hospital in Okmulgee. The Eufaula Indian Health Clinic construction reports that due to good weather, construction at the Eufaula Indian Health Clinic is ahead of schedule. They are now estimating the building at 49% complete, and we look for an opening sometime in the mid to late 2018. At the Okmulgee Indian Health Clinic, the pharmacy expansion project was completed in September, allowing the pharmacy much needed space to continue to grow their services. The space more than doubled in size. In terms of financial viability of the healthcare system, Total third-party collections for the fourth quarter were $12,599,578. Third-party collections for fiscal year 17 were $49,292,015. That's compared to the fiscal year 16 amount of $48,173,270. So we are seeing an increase, and that is a consistent increase. In the Department of Community and Human Services, I'd like to highlight a few of their accomplishments. In the Office of Child Care Development, the 7 centers have maintained their enrollment throughout fiscal year 17 with an average of 250 children monthly. In Children and Family Services Administration, Tribal and State Reunification and Permanency Services assisted in the reunification efforts of 165 families and assisted in the finalization of 126 adoptions. Certification, placement, recruitment, and training maintained or certified 11 regular foster homes, 7 relative foster homes, 22 adoptive homes, all the while promoting safe and stable families. They provided intense in-home case management services to 133 families. In youth services, the Muskogee Nation Youth Services has focused on the premise of culture is prevention. This year, 20 Muskogee Nation Youth Council members attended the Unity Conference, participating in the cultural exchange by hosting a fashion show highlighting Muskogee clothing from various areas. In addition, the director of the Muskogee Nation Youth Services, Nancy Mason, was selected as the 2017 J.R. Cook Advisor of the Year at this year's conference. In the Department of Education, Employment, and Training, the Native Youth Community Project, the Department of Education and Training has received a Native Youth Community Project grant in the amount of $2,093,000 from the U.S. Department of Education. The NYCP grant project will continue for 4 years with the purpose of serving partnering school districts to promote college and career readiness among Native in Employment and Training Administration, and in addition, the Tinker Federal Credit Union, they collaborated to present the first financial literacy event on Friday, July 28th at the Claude Cox Omniplex Dome. An estimated 500 youth attended the event. Throughout the summer, participants were provided financial modules to showcase awareness of the importance of saving money and making decisions on budgeting. The youth who participated in the module program were automatically entered into a drawing for $500 for each county, with one grand prize winner of $1,000. The financial literacy incentives were provided and awarded by the offices of the Principal Chief, Second Chief, the Speaker, and the Secretary of Commerce. And we're very proud of our collaboration with the Tinker Federal Credit Union. In higher education, we assisted 794 students with awards this past quarter. Total expenditure for grants by the program this quarter were $1,043,010. The staff continues to visit local high schools, university, and Muskogee Creek Nation events to support continued engagement in the community. In the State Tribal Education Partnership Program, they continue to build the capacity of the Tribal Education Agency to support programming and work with local, state, and national Head Start programs. They had 223 parent volunteers with an average of 25 volunteers per center during the fourth quarter. The Scholarship Foundation program raised $34,000 in the fourth quarter to support the foundation's scholarships. At the Eufaula Dormitory, fall enrollment was completed during the fourth quarter. Presently, there are 75 students enrolled in the dormitory as residents. The students are actively engaged in tutoring, recreational activities, and culturally enriched endeavors, while the Eufaula Dormitory strives to ensure the overall health, success, and well-being of our students. The reintegration program received 70 cases during the fourth quarter, with the primary participants ranging in ages from 0 to 60 years. Of these cases, 52 participants are male, 18 participants are female, and 3 of the 70 total participants have juvenile records. In the Department of Interior Affairs, the fourth quarter of fiscal year 17 proved to be extremely productive for the Department of the Interior. Significant accomplishments include the following. At the Okmulgee Hospital, they obtained substantial completion on the facility on September 28th. The asphalt on the road is near completion. In Eufaula Clinic, the project is on schedule with 60% completion. They also participated in the campus master plan, which interviewed all departments at the nation, and they began a full programmatic design and review in the master plan. In the cemetery reclamation program, currently there are 253 creek cemeteries documented and mapped within our tribal jurisdiction. In the agribusiness department, they significantly culled out a number of inferior quality cattle, 281 head, so our current herd size is 308, including 160 cows, 98 weaned calves, 41 fall calves, and 9 bulls. And then during this quarter, we baled 1,500 bales of hay. In the storm shelter program, the program awarded 25 Muskogee Creek citizens with storm shelters. The program will begin construction by the end of October. In the Historic and Cultural Preservation Department, they received and reviewed 1,019 projects for compliance with Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act during this past quarter. Most significantly, though, was they repatriated and reinterred more than 100 individuals from the Okmulgee National Monument, which was the largest repatriation completed by the tribe so far. Under the Cultural Center and Archives Department, the Council House Restoration Project is ongoing and on schedule. The tentative completion date for the construction and exhibit design and installation is mid-2018. I'd also just like to point out that the Red Stick Gallery currently has items from over 45 Muskogee artists. The gallery set up at several locations during this quarter and did quite well. The gallery sends out items weekly through orders from the online store, which can be found at www.creeknationgiftshop.com. In the Department of Commerce, the Office of the Secretary of the Nation of Commerce, 27 limited liability corporations file their annual active business certification with the nation. In the Office of Self-Governance, in July, the Office of Self-Governance coordinated the renewal of the fiscal year 2018 self-governance funding agreement with the Department of the Interior. In the Office of Public Relations, consistent with the mission of the Office of Public Relations to project a positive image of the Muskogee Creek Nation, our staff has facilitated numerous projects and activities in the past quarter to that purpose. The Vote campaign, urging folks to register and vote, was launched featuring Election Board Manager Nelson Harjo Jr. in television ads, which will continue to run until the general election on November 4th. It was written, shot, and produced and funded by the Office of Public Relations. The Public Relations has also doubled its news coverage coming out of the executive branch and the nation. You will now notice a stronger presence on the tribal website and social media, more news releases, videography, and print promotions than has ever been produced, all in an effort to increase transparency. Information from the Nation radio program was launched. It's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, a tribal calendar and an announcement segment at 8:45 a.m. on the Brew, AM 1240 and Okmulgee radio station. In Public Relations also worked with the Okmulgee National Park Service in Macon, Georgia, to coordinate a private reburial, as mentioned before, of the more than 100 ancestral remains in an undisclosed portion of the park. The Office of Public Relations has also reached nearly 2,000 new reviewers or viewers or followers on the Public Relations Facebook page. Positive feedback from the comments are being received. In the Office of Tourism and Recreation, the Tourism and Recreation utilizes social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter to reach out to and promote and engage the general public's awareness of the nation. During this fiscal year, the social media outreach topped out at 499,507 hits, so we've almost reached 500,000 milestone in the interest in the Muskogee Creek Nation. I'd like to conclude my remarks this afternoon by talking about probably the newest part of our administration, the Tribal Liaison for At-Large Citizens. Although established in the fourth quarter, has proved to be very successful and productive. The following represents some of its successes. They developed, with the help of public relations, a tab for at-large citizens on the official tribal website. They launched a Facebook page for at-large citizens. For public relations Facebook page, in addition to the United States, the top countries reached during the quarter were Afghanistan and Italy. The hits to the Facebook page reached 34,830 people in the fourth quarter. They also assisted at-large citizens that were affected by hurricanes in the states of Texas and Florida. And they coordinated the first Oklahoma City at-large quarterly outreach meeting on September 30th with services presented such as citizenship, election board, social services, higher education, employment and training, cultural preservation, genealogy, realty trust services, and Muskogee Creek Nation Department of Health for flu shots. They also attended the commemorative Trail of Tears Walk in Mount Juliet in Woodbury, Tennessee, and at-large citizens assisted this quarter were from California, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, Arizona, and Oklahoma. I want to thank you for the time to spend with you this afternoon and to present the findings from the fourth quarterly report to the National Council for fiscal year 2017. The report can be found at our website in its entirety by going to our website location, mcn-nsn.gov, and will be available before the council meeting this Saturday, November 28th. Again, thank you for your time. Madao.